हेलो दोस्तों। आज इस एपिसोड में हम लोगों का चर्चा का विषय है कोरोना वायरस और कोविड-19, द वेरी पैंडेमिक विच हैज़ पैरालाइज द होल वर्ल्ड एंड आवर नॉर्मल लाइव्स केम टू अ स्टैंड स्टिल। लॉकडाउन, क्वारंटीन एंड फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग आर नाउ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर कैच फ्रेजेस। तो चलिए सबसे पहले बात करते हैं कोरोना वायरस के ऊपर। क्या है ये कोरोना वायरस? लेकिन उसके पहले मैं बता दूं कि आज इस एपिसोड में हम लोग टोटल 5 सवाल पे बात करेंगे। सवाल नंबर 1, Did coronavirus originate in China? सवाल नंबर 2, Did China play a responsible role following the outbreak of the virus? सवाल नंबर 3, Is it fair to call it a Chinese or Wuhan virus? सवाल नंबर 4, Should China be made to pay for the loss? सवाल नंबर 5, What's the role of the United States and the WHO? Firstly, what is coronavirus? Well, according to the World Health Organization and the Johns Hopkins Office of Critical Event Preparedness and Response, coronavirus disease is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are known to cause illness ranging from common cold to more severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome (MERS) and severe acute respiratory syndrome (SARS). हालांकि मैं बता दूं, जो सार्स 2002 में सबसे पहले चाइना में अपीयर हुआ था वो एक सीबेत कैट से ह्यूमन में ट्रांसमिट हुआ था, और मार्स जो कि सऊदी अरबिया में पाया गया था 2012 में, वो एक ड्रोमेडेरी कैमल से ह्यूमन में ट्रांसमिट हुआ था। नोवेल कोरोना वायरस इज अ न्यू स्ट्रेन ऑफ कोरोना वायरस दैट emerged in Wuhan city of Hubei province in December 2019. Although health experts and scientists are still tracing the exact source of this new coronavirus, early hypotheses thought it might be linked to a seafood market in Wuhan. तो चलिए देखते हैं कोरोना वायरस का सिम्टम्स क्या क्या है। The common symptoms include cough, fever, muscle aches, sore throat, shortness of breath, diarrhea, and headache. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, and even death. Is there a vaccine for a novel coronavirus? No, there is no vaccine so far. It can take a number of years for a vaccine to be developed. Is there a treatment for a novel coronavirus? Well, there is no specific treatment for disease caused by a novel coronavirus. However, many of the symptoms can be treated, and therefore treatment based on the patient's clinical condition. Moreover, a supportive care can be highly effective in this regard. तो चलिए अब हम थोड़ा आंकड़े पे नज़र रखते हैं कि अभी तक कितने लोगों का मौत हो गई और कितने लोग रिकवर कर चुके हैं. And then I will quickly move to address the issues I have raised in the beginning of this video. According to the information available, मई 28 तक 3,56,131 लोगों का मौत हो गई है कोरोना वायरस के कारण। लेकिन इनमें से राहत की बात यह है कि 23,27,292 लोग अभी तक इस बात करते हैं सवालों पे। आज का पहला सवाल, डिड कोविड-19 ओरिजिनेट इन चाइना? Well, COVID-19 first appeared in Wuhan city of Hubei province in December 2019. As per initial reports, the virus originated from a seafood market in Wuhan. But as of today, there is no scientific evidence or established research that validates the claim. In this direction, Professor Edward Holmes of the University of Sydney, who was also a co-author on a Nature study that examined the likely origins of the virus, has traced that identity of the species that served as an immediate host for the virus is still uncertain. Professor Stanley Perlman, a leading immunologist at the University of Iowa and an expert of the previous coronavirus outbreaks that have stemmed from animals, says that the idea of the link to the Wuhan market is coincidental and cannot be ruled out. But the possibility seems to be less likely because the genetic material of the virus had been found in the market environment. Shu Chengli, known as the Bat Woman for her passionate research about bats and viruses associated with them, recently said, "The origin of the virus remains unknown based on the current published data. It still needs scientists' continuous efforts in determining the intermediate host of the virus and carrying out comprehensive and detailed virus tracing studies. In this regard, WHO, the World Health Assembly, a decision-making body of the WHO, has passed a unanimous resolution to probe the origin of the virus. चाइना ने भी वर्ल्ड हेल्थ असेंबली का इस रेजोल्यूशन को बैक किया, सपोर्ट किया. It is not wise to be very hopeful about the investigation because SARS जो हम सबको पता है 2002 में फर्स्ट टाइम अपीयर हुआ था. Even today we are not certain about the origin of SARS. तो मुद्दावत ये हुआ कि अभी तक हम लोगों को पता नहीं है कोविड-19 कहाँ से ओरिजिनेट हुआ है. जो पता है वो है कि कोविड-19 फर्स्ट टाइम अपीयर या एमर्ज हुआ है चाइना का हुबेई प्रोविंस का वुहान सिटी में. So now we will move to the next question. Did China play a responsible role following the outbreak of the virus? Well, China cannot wash away its share of blame for its flawed initial response. If we look at the timeline, action and critical inaction on the part of Chinese government obstructed information flows. The investigative reporting by Caixin, the most independent news media, of course as independent as it can get in China, has highlighted the initial botched approach by Chinese authorities. Most egregious was the Wuhan police intimidating and reprimanding the whistleblower doctor Liu Liang, who later died of the very coronavirus, and Hubei authority even carried on large-scale political gatherings and gala dinner just before Chinese New Year festival. One possible reason of Hubei authorities' inaction was the schedule of mid-January annual People's Congress and Political Consultative Conference plenary sessions, a crucial time for leadership turnover and also for showcasing leaders' achievements and agendas. The political gathering in Hubei province can be compared with what's happened in Indian state Madhya Pradesh. The toppling of a democratically elected government took place in the midst of coronavirus. Both are being the classic case of prioritizing politics over public health. Moreover, intergovernmental dynamics and bureaucratic logjam influenced the coronavirus outbreak in China. China has been widely castigated for its initial mistakes and missteps, which have become a top talking point of President Trump. दोस्तों, मैं यहाँ पे और एक चीज़ों के बारे में बात करना चाहूँगा कि there is one Chinese novelist and author named Fang Fang who won several literary awards including China's most prestigious Lu Xun Literary Prize in 2010. हालांकि ये बात आप लोगों को पता है कि चाइना में सोशल मीडिया में सबसे पॉपुलर प्लेटफॉर्म है वीचैट. तो वुहान सिटी में लॉकडाउन शुरू होने के बाद लोगों को समस्या होने लगा. जैसा इंडिया में लॉकडाउन के बाद सबसे बड़ा इशू है माइग्रेंट लेबरर्स का समस्या, ठीक इसी तरह उस समस्या को लेके फंग फंग ने अपना वीचैट अकाउंट में पोस्ट करना शुरू कर दिया. लेकिन चाइनीज़ गवर्नमेंट ने उनका हर पोस्ट को सेंसर और डिलीट करना भी शुरू कर दिया. लेकिन इसमें मज़े के बात यह है कि उनका पोस्ट करने के बाद और चाइनीज़ गवर्नमेंट डिलीट करने के पहले जो थोड़ा सा समय लेट से 2-3-4 घंटा मिलता था, उन्हीं में से उनका हर पोस्ट वायरल हो जाता था. तो बाद में वो सारे पोस्ट को इकट्ठा किया गया और जो आज के दुनिया में वुहान डायरी और क्वारंटीन डायरी के नाम पे जाना जाता है. So Wuhan diary is the daily account of the millions of inhabitants' untold sufferings during the health crisis. And now that Wuhan diary is also available in other foreign languages including English, so you can read the book if you have time or interest. Now I'll move to the question number 3. Is it fair to call COVID-19 a Chinese or Wuhan virus? Nope, not at all, because it's inaccurate and xenophobic. Chao Liqian, a Deputy Director General of the Chinese Foreign Ministry's Information Department and also a high-profile Foreign Ministry spokesman, took to Twitter with a video clip and added, "It might be the US Army who brought the virus to Wuhan." Chao Liqian's implications that the United States and its military could be behind Wuhan's outbreak even inadvertently sparked outrage. The United States government immediately summoned Cui Tiankai, the Chinese ambassador to the US, over the remarks. Cui later publicly rejected the US military conspiracy theory and Chinese officials have not further amplified it. Perhaps this accusation triggered President Trump to use the adjective Chinese before the virus. According to the database website FactBase, President Trump used the expression Chinese virus more than 20 times between 16th and 30th March. The adjective Chinese or Wuhan is particularly problematic as it associates the infection with an ethnicity. This type of language stokes anxiety, resentment, fear, and disgust toward people associated with that group. Because for Asian Americans, the virus has already stirred up another threat, a wave of verbal and physical attacks. The CBS News correspondent Wei Chiang reported on Twitter that a White House official had referred to coronavirus as the Kung flu to her face. However, this is not limited only in the US. Even African people in China and Muslims in India have been the victims of racism and Islamophobia following the coronavirus outbreak. John Young, President and Executive Director of Asian Americans Advancing Justice, rightly said, "In reality, Chinese or any other community are not more genetically prone to transmit the virus. What we all need to do is to focus on our public health." Now, I will try to address the next question. Should China be made to pay for the loss? Well, blaming China for coronavirus pandemic, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told Fox News in an interview on 23rd April, and I quote, "I am very confident that the Chinese Communist Party will pay a price for what they did here, certainly from the United States. I don't know exactly what form that will take." Unquote. In response to it, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said, "Those who want China to pay virus compensation are daydreaming." Well, here I would like to reiterate that this is not going to happen, as it did not happen when Mr. Trump claimed that Mexico would pay for the wall. And most importantly, in the past, no country had paid for any kind of infectious disease. Even if it becomes a new precedent, that's scary and precarious, because then every country would like to hide any kind of information about any kind of infectious disease outbreak. Now, the last question of our today's conversation. What are the roles of the United States and WHO? Well, on 8th April, the US President Donald Trump accused World Health Organization of minimizing the threat greatly. Again, on 14th April, Donald Trump said, WHO is very China-centric. So before we reach any conclusion, पहले थोड़ा chronology समझ लेते हैं. मैं चाहूँगा कि आप लोग थोड़ा स्क्रीन पे ध्यान दीजिए. On 31st December, reports begin of a respiratory illness in Wuhan. 1st January to 5th January, Trump goes for golfing. On 9th Jan, WHO compares corona with SARS and MERS. And on the same day, President Trump holds a political rally. On 10th January, WHO issues new guidelines including surveillance, prevention and control. From 14th January to 19th January, Trump holds another rally and goes for golfing. On 22nd Jan, Trump assures that the US had it totally under control. I repeat, the US had it totally under control. And on the same day, WHO issues guidelines for the public to protect themselves. On 24th Jan, Trump tweets and praises the Chinese response. 28th Jan, Trump holds rally and no mention about the virus. On 30th January, WHO declares global public health emergency of international concern. On the same day, Trump holds another rally. On 31st January, Trump signs an executive order blocking entry to the US by people who had recently been in China. मैं यहाँ पे बता दूँ कि this order did not include US citizens or families in China. 1st and 2nd February, Trump goes for golfing. On 3rd February, WHO releases a strategic preparedness and response plan. On 7th Feb, Trump again praises China's response to coronavirus. Trump holds another rally on 10th February. Between 16th and 21st February, Trump goes golfing, holds 3 more political rallies. On 26th Feb, Trump updates the country on coronavirus. Trump holds another rally on 28th Feb. From 2nd to 8th March, Trump holds another rally and golfs twice. On 11th March, WHO announces the coronavirus a global pandemic. And finally, on 13th March, Trump officially declares a national emergency. Additionally, on 24th Feb, the US President Donald Trump kicked off his first official visit to India by addressing a rally of more than 100,000 people. Yes, you heard it right. 1 lakh people in Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's home state of Gujarat. One possible reason of that visit was to woo the Indian American community before the US presidential election. तो दोस्तों, मैं यहाँ पे चर्चा किया डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का गोल्फिंग और उनके पॉलिटिकल रैलीज होल्ड करने के बारे में। मैं बता दूँ, गोल्फ खेलना बुरी बात नहीं है, बट प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप का गोल्फ खेलना ये दिखाता है कि इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन में भी प्रेसिडेंट के पास गोल्फ खेलने का मिजाज और समय दोनों ही है। ये भी दिखाता है कि उनका प्रायोरिटीज़ क्या है। दूसरा बात, जो पॉलिटिकल रैली कोई भी कंट्री का प्राइम मिनिस्टर या प्रेसिडेंट जब पॉलिटिकल रैली होल्ड करते हैं तो वहाँ पे हज़ारों या लाखों के तादाद में लोग जाते हैं, जहाँ पे सुपर स्प्रेडर होने का पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है। एंड दिस इज़ वाई प्रोबेबली द US is the worst hit country in the world today. Meanwhile, the US has recently decided to stop its funding to the World Health Organization. Let me also add here that 27% of WHO's funding for polio eradication, 23% for emergency health operations, and 19% for tuberculosis, HIV, and malaria is provided by the US. According to the WHO's website, the US has been the agency's top financial contributor, accounting for more than 14% of agency's financing at around $400 million a year. In this regard, Leslie Dack, the chair of the US Healthcare Advocacy Group, said, "To be sure, WHO is not without fault, but it is beyond irresponsible to cut its funding at the height of a global pandemic." अभी हम अगर दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा 2 इकोनॉमी का जीडीपी के आंकड़े पे नज़र रखते हैं तो हमें देखने को मिलता है कि यूएस का जीडीपी 21 ट्रिलियन US डॉलर है, जहाँ पे चाइना का है 14 ट्रिलियन US डॉलर। तो मुझे लगता है उस रेशियो के हिसाब से चाइना को कोई भी इंटरनेशनल या मल्टीलैटरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में और भी थोड़ा प्रोएक्टिव फाइनेंशियल रोल निभाना चाहिए। एंड इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ WHO's role, I think the most sane words are spoken by Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He said, "We are not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater here, but they are also not immune from criticism and immune from doing things better." Well, let me also highlight here that the role and efficiency of any international multilateral organization like WHO is also contingent upon the intents of great powers. My take. As Bill Gates has dubbed coronavirus the first modern pandemic, this is high time to be prepared for future pandemics. Now, the virus is a common enemy to the world that can only be defeated through concerted efforts and international cooperation. As Voltaire or Uncle Ben said, "With great power comes great responsibility." Both the great powers, the US and China, should shoulder more responsibilities, be it political, economic, or even moral. While the US terminating relationship with WHO is an ill-thought and myopic decision, China's disinformation campaign is equally worrisome and annoying. China's recent wolf warrior diplomacy may cost it heavily in the days to come. Though historically the relationship between a hegemon and a challenger has not always been smooth, but the virus is the common enemy in today's global village. COVID-19 is a big wake-up call. We need to seriously focus on reforms and reinvestment in our public healthcare system. That's all for today. You can show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing Study China with MDY. Stay tuned for the next episode on India China border issues. See you soon.